The desperate signal. The frozen surface of Europa reflected Jupiter's pale light as Dr. Marcus Chen adjusted the deep space arrays at Research Station Galileo. It was supposed to be another routine night of monitoring cosmic background radiation, but the universe had other plans. At precisely 3:17 a.m. Earth Standard Time, the arrays picked up something that would change humanity forever. A structured signal repeating at regular intervals from just beyond Jupiter's orbit. Marcus stared at his screens in disbelief. After 20 years searching for signs of extraterrestrial intelligence, he knew immediately this was different. The pattern was too complex to be natural, yet too simple to be random interference. His hands trembled as he initiated the recording protocols. "Control, this is Galileo Station." He spoke into his comm, voice steady despite his racing heart. "I need immediate verification on an anomalous signal in Sector 7 Alpha." Within hours, observatories across the solar system confirmed what Marcus had discovered. The signal wasn't just structured, it was a message, and it was desperate. For 3 days, Earth's finest cryptographers and linguists worked around the clock. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source, a quantum computing algorithm developed by a teenage prodigy in Mumbai. The message, once decoded, was heartbreakingly simple. "We are the Selari. Our vessels are failing. 300,000 souls drift toward death. Our power fades. Our children grow cold. If any civilization hears this message, we beg for aid. Coordinates follow." The coordinates pointed to a location just inside Jupiter's gravity well, where a massive fleet of alien ships struggled against the gas giant's relentless pull. Long-range telescopes revealed the truth. Dozens of city-sized vessels, their lights flickering weakly, caught in a decaying orbit that would soon send them plunging into Jupiter's crushing atmosphere. Earth's response was not unanimous. The Global Council convened an emergency session, holographic representatives from every nation arguing passionately about humanity's first contact with alien life. "We cannot risk our entire species for strangers," argued General Hammond of the United American States. "We know nothing about them. This could be a trap." "And if it isn't," countered Dr. Amara Okonkwo, head of the African Science Union, "if we let 300,000 beings die when we could have helped, what does that make us?" The debate raged for hours until Commander Sarah Martinez stepped forward. A veteran of the Mars colonies with a reputation for impossible rescues, she commanded respect from military and civilian leaders alike. "I've spent my life pulling people out of situations they thought were hopeless," she said, her voice cutting through the noise. "On Mars, in the asteroid belt, even that disaster on Titan. Every time, someone told me it was too dangerous, too risky. But I've never left anyone behind who called for help. I won't start now." Her words struck a chord. Humanity had always been at its best when facing impossible odds. The vote that followed was nearly unanimous. Earth would answer the call. The next challenge was logistics. The Selari fleet was trapped in Jupiter's gravity well, their ships too damaged to break free. Traditional rescue vessels couldn't reach them in time, but humans had never let impossibility stop them before. Within days, engineers from every spacefaring nation converged on Luna Base. Their mission: design and build humanity's first deep space rescue fleet in record time. Leading the effort was Raj Patel, whose experimental fusion drives had revolutionized travel within the inner solar system. "The problem isn't just reaching them," Raj explained to his team, holographic schematics floating before them. "It's reaching them with enough power to pull their ships out of Jupiter's gravity well. We need something revolutionary." What they created defied conventional wisdom. The rescue ships, dubbed the Prometheus class, combined human ingenuity with theoretical physics that bordered on the impossible. Fusion drives pushed to their absolute limits, gravity manipulation fields that existed only in equations until now, and modular design that allowed for rapid adaptation to unknown alien technology. As the ships took shape in lunar orbit, humanity united in a way it never had before. Resources flowed freely between nations. Old rivalries were set aside. Children in schools across Earth followed the mission's progress, learning about orbital mechanics and the physics of rescue operations. Commander Martinez assembled her crew from the best of humanity. Pilots who had flown impossible routes through the asteroid belt. Engineers who could fix anything with whatever was at hand. Medics trained in xenobiology, despite never having seen an alien. Scientists burning with curiosity about first contact. This isn't just a rescue mission, Martinez told her crew on the eve of launch. This is humanity's introduction to the galactic community. We're not just saving lives, we're showing the universe who we are. The launch was watched by billions. 7 Prometheus-class vessels, carrying humanity's hopes and fears, burned hard for Jupiter. As Earth dwindled behind them, the crew settled in for the most important journey in human history. 3 days out from Jupiter, they received their first direct communication from the Selari. The image that appeared on their screen showed beings of ethereal beauty. Tall, willowy creatures with skin that seemed to shimmer with inner light. Their leader, who introduced himself as Sentinel Kairos, spoke through a translation matrix the Selari had managed to construct. "Humans of Earth," Kairos said, his voice carrying the weight of desperation and hope, "we watched your launch with wonder. In all our travels, we have encountered many species. None have ever risked so much for strangers." "That's what humans do," Martinez replied. "We help. Now tell us what we need to know to save your people." The Selari explained their situation. Their sun had begun an unexpected collapse, forcing them to flee their homeworld with whatever ships they could gather. They had aimed for a distant colony but miscalculated Jupiter's gravitational influence. Now their engines were failing, life support systems were at critical levels, and time was running out. "We have perhaps 10 of your days before our ships begin falling into the gas giant," Kairos said. "After that, nothing can save us." Martinez studied the data that Selari transmitted. The situation was even worse than they'd feared. But she saw something else too. Specifications for Selari technology that, if they could understand it, might provide the key to rescue. "Raj," she called to her chief engineer, "take a look at these engine schematics. Tell me you see what I see." Raj's eyes widened as he analyzed the data. "Their propulsion system, it's based on principles we've only theorized about. If we can adapt our systems to interface with theirs, we might just pull off a miracle," Martinez finished. As the human fleet approached Jupiter, the massive planet loomed before them like an angry god. Somewhere in its grasp, 300,000 souls waited for salvation. The Selari fleet was visible now, a cluster of elegant ships fighting a losing battle against gravity. "All ships, this is Martinez," the commander broadcasted. "You all know what's at stake. We've got one shot at this. Let's show the universe what humanity is made of." The rescue ships moved into position, their crews working feverishly to adapt human technology to interface with alien systems. It was a race against time, physics, and the unknown. But humans had always been good at beating the odds. As the first connections were made between human and Selari ships, sparks of energy danced across the void. 2 species, separated by light years of space and evolution, were about to attempt something unprecedented, a rescue operation that would require perfect trust between strangers. Sentinel Kairos, Martinez called as her ship locked onto the Selari flagship, "We're ready to begin power transfer. This is going to be rough." "We trust you, Commander," Kairos replied. "Our fate is in your hands." With those words, humanity took its first true step onto the galactic stage. Whatever happened next would echo through the stars for generations to come. Against all odds, the rescue operation began with a problem no human had ever faced: how to interface 2 completely different technologies built by species that evolved on different worlds. Raj Patel stood before a holographic display of Selari engine schematics, his team of engineers working frantically around him. "Their power systems operate on quantum resonance principles," Raj explained to Martinez over the comm. "It's beautiful, really. They manipulate space-time at the quantum level to generate thrust. But connecting our fusion drives to their systems is like trying to plug a lightning bolt into a flower. The first attempts at power transfer failed spectacularly. Energy surges overloaded human systems, while Selari ships experienced dangerous fluctuations. Time was running out. Jupiter's gravity pulled relentlessly at the alien fleet. It was then that Dr. Elena Kovac, a quantum physicist from the European Science Division, made a breakthrough. "We're thinking about this wrong," she announced during an emergency meeting. "We don't need to make our systems compatible. We need to create a bridge between them." Working with Selari engineers through the translation matrix, Elena developed what would later be known as the Kovac Bridge, a quantum interface that allowed energy to flow between radically different technologies. The solution was elegant, almost poetic in its simplicity. As human and Selari crews worked together to implement the bridge technology, something remarkable happened. The language barrier began to dissolve. Engineers from both species found they could communicate through the universal language of mathematics and physics. Diagrams and equations flowed back and forth, each side contributing unique insights. Martinez watched this collaboration with growing hope. "This is what I dreamed of," she told her first officer, Lieutenant James Cooper. "Not just saving lives, but bringing our species together." The first successful power transfer occurred 36 hours into the operation. The human ship Endeavour linked with a Selari medical vessel whose life support systems were failing. As energy flowed through the Kovac Bridge, lights flickered back to life aboard the alien ship. Cheers erupted on both vessels. But celebration was premature. As more ships were linked, the strain on human systems grew exponentially. The Prometheus-class vessels hadn't been designed for this kind of sustained power output. Warning lights flashed across control panels as systems pushed beyond their limits. "Captain, we're redlining on all systems," Chief Engineer Thompson reported from the Prometheus. "If we keep this up, we'll burn out our drives." Martinez faced an impossible choice: save their own ships or continue the rescue. The decision took her less than a second. Maintain power transfer. These people need us. The human crews pushed their ships to the breaking point. Engineers performed miracles keeping systems online. Pilots made micro-adjustments to maintain position against Jupiter's turbulent gravitational field. Medics prepared for the inevitable casualties of such extreme operations. Then came a message that changed everything. Sentinel Kairos appeared on Martinez's screen, his ethereal features drawn with concern. "Commander, we've decoded more of our sensor data. We weren't alone when we fled our system. We were followed." The implications hit Martinez like a physical blow. "The Dominion?" Kairos nodded gravely. "They destroyed our sun to eliminate what they saw as competition. When they realize you're helping us, they'll come for Earth too." This revelation could have ended the rescue. No one would have blamed humanity for abandoning the Selari to save themselves. But Martinez knew her species better than that. "All ships, this is Martinez," she broadcast to the fleet. "We've just learned there may be hostile forces in pursuit of the Selari. I'm not ordering anyone to stay. This is now volunteer only." The response was immediate and unanimous. Not a single human ship powered down. Not one crew member requested evacuation. If anything, they worked harder. "That's humanity for you," Lieutenant Cooper said with pride. "Tell us the odds are impossible, and we'll beat them just to prove you wrong." The rescue entered its critical phase. Human ships, operating far beyond their design limits, began pulling Selari vessels out of Jupiter's gravity well. It was a delicate dance. Too much thrust would tear the damaged alien ships apart. Too little would doom them to Jupiter's depths. Raj Patel coordinated the operation with mechanical precision. Team Alpha, increase power to Grid 7. Team Beta, compensate for drift on the port side. "Come on, people, we can do this." One by one, Selari ships broke free from Jupiter's grasp. But the strain was telling. The human vessel Intrepid suffered a catastrophic drive failure, forcing an emergency evacuation of its crew. The Valiant's life support systems began failing, requiring creative solutions to keep its crew alive. Through it all, humans and Selari worked side by side. Cultural exchange happened naturally. Humans learned Selari meditation techniques to stay calm under pressure, while Selari adopted human problem-solving approaches that seemed chaotic but produced results. Dr. Chen, communicating from Europa Station, provided crucial gravitational calculations that helped optimize the rescue trajectories. "You're riding the edge of possibility," he told Martinez, "but the math says you can do it." The turning point came when the Selari shared their advanced sensor technology with the humans. Suddenly, the rescue teams could see gravitational fields in real time, allowing for precise adjustments that had been impossible before. "This is incredible," Alina Kovic exclaimed as she studied the sensor data. "We're literally seeing the shape of space-time. With this technology, we can revolutionize space travel." The collaboration produced unexpected breakthroughs. Human determination combined with Selari technology created solutions neither species could have achieved alone. The Kovic Bridge evolved into something more, a true fusion of technologies that would later revolutionize both civilizations. As the rescue neared completion, only the largest Selari vessels remained trapped. These generation ships carried the majority of the refugee population and required enormous power to move. The human fleet, already pushed beyond limits, had one final miracle to perform. "All ships, form quantum link pattern delta," Martinez ordered. It was a theoretical formation, never tested, that would allow the fleet to combine their power output through the Kovic Bridge network. "Captain, the power surge could destroy every ship in the formation," warned the science officer. "Then we'd better get it right the first time," Martinez replied. The human ships moved into position, creating a geometric pattern that would focus their combined energy. As the quantum links activated, space itself seemed to ripple around them. Power flowed through the formation, amplified by each ship, creating an energy output that defied conventional physics. The massive Selari generation ships began to move. Inch by inch, then foot by foot, they pulled away from Jupiter's embrace. The strain on human ships was enormous. Hull plates buckled, systems overloaded, crews pushed themselves to exhaustion. "Hold formation," Martinez commanded as warning klaxons blared. "We're almost there." With a final surge of power, the last Selari ship broke free. The rescue was complete. 300,000 souls saved from certain death. But the cost had been high. Human ships were battered, crews exhausted, and systems failing across the fleet. As the combined fleet limped away from Jupiter, Sentinel Kairos appeared once more on human screens. "Commander Martinez, words cannot express our gratitude. You've saved my people, but I fear we've doomed yours. The Dominion will come." Martinez smiled grimly. "Let them come. They'll learn what the Selari now know. Humans don't abandon friends." The rescue had succeeded, but the real challenge was just beginning. Humanity had announced its presence on the galactic stage, and not all who noticed would welcome them. The price of compassion might be war, but it was a price humanity was prepared to pay. The price of compassion. 3 weeks after the rescue, long-range sensors detected what the Selari had feared: a Dominion warfleet emerging from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system. 12 massive dreadnoughts, each larger than humanity's biggest space station, appeared with weapons powered and shields raised. Commander Martinez stood on the bridge of the battered Prometheus, studying the tactical display. Her fleet was in no condition for combat after the rescue operation. But retreat wasn't an option, not with Earth and the Selari refugees behind them. "Incoming transmission," Lieutenant Cooper announced. The main screen filled with the image of a Dominion commander, a being of crystalline structure that radiated cold authority. "Humans of Earth," the entity's voice resonated through the bridge. "You have interfered with Dominion justice. The Selari were marked for extinction. Surrender them, and we will spare your world." Martinez's response was immediate. "We don't abandon those who ask for help. The Selari are under our protection." The crystalline being's form shifted, colors darkening. Then you share their fate. As the transmission ended, alarms blared across the fleet. The Dominion ships were charging weapons. Energy readings unlike anything in human databases. All ships, battle stations. Martinez commanded. But she knew conventional tactics wouldn't work. Their ships were damaged, outgunned, and facing an enemy with superior technology. Then Sentinel Kairos offered an unexpected gift. "Commander, we cannot fight, but we can help. Our ships carry something that may turn the tide." Design specifications for Dominion shield frequencies and weapon systems. We gathered this intelligence during our escape. The data changed everything. Raj Patel and his engineering teams worked feverishly to reconfigure human weapons to exploit Dominion weaknesses. Elena Kovac applied her breakthrough in quantum bridging to create entirely new weapon systems. "We can't match their firepower," Raj reported, "but we can be precise. If we hit the right points at the right frequencies, we might disable their systems." The battle began as David versus Goliath. Dominion dreadnoughts unleashed devastating energy weapons that could vaporize asteroids. But human ships, nimble despite their damage, danced between the blasts with piloting skills honed in the dangerous asteroid belts. Martinez coordinated the fleet like a conductor leading an orchestra. "Alpha Wing, draw their fire. Beta Wing, target their sensor arrays. Gamma Wing, prepare for quantum strike on my mark." The first human victory came when the Intrepid, despite its damaged engines, managed to slip through Dominion shields and deliver a precisely calibrated electromagnetic pulse. One dreadnought went dark, its systems temporarily disabled. But the Dominion adapted quickly. Their remaining ships tightened formation, creating overlapping fields of fire that seemed impossible to penetrate. 2 human vessels were destroyed in rapid succession, their crews sacrificing themselves to buy time for their comrades. It was then that help arrived from an unexpected quarter. Ships began emerging from hyperspace, not more enemies, but vessels from other species. The Meridian Collective, ancient enemies of the Dominion, had monitored the situation and chose this moment to intervene. "Humans of Earth," came a melodious voice over the comm. "Your actions in saving the Selari have not gone unnoticed. The Dominion has terrorized the galaxy for too long. Today, we stand with you." The tide of battle shifted. Meridian ships, elegant and deadly, joined the human fleet. Their weapons, designed specifically to counter Dominion technology, proved devastatingly effective. But it was human tactical innovation that turned the battle into a victory. Martinez realized that the Dominion's strength, their rigid, hierarchical command structure, was also their weakness. All ships implement Swarm Protocol Alpha, individual initiative authorized. Human vessels broke formation, each crew acting independently, but toward a common goal. The chaotic, seemingly random patterns confused Dominion targeting systems. Fighter pilots performed maneuvers that defied physics, engineers created improvised weapons on the fly, and medics kept crews fighting despite injuries. The turning point came when Elena Kovac had another breakthrough. "Commander, I can use the quantum bridge technology to link our ship's shields. If we create a resonance pattern, we could reflect their own weapons back at them." It was insanity, the kind of insanity that humans excelled at. Ships linked their systems through the quantum bridge network, creating a shield harmonics pattern that had never been attempted. When the next Dominion barrage struck, the energy was absorbed, amplified, and reflected. 3 Dominion dreadnoughts were destroyed by their own weapons. The remaining ships, faced with united human Selari Meridian forces and their own weapons being turned against them, began to retreat. "They're running," cheered the crew of the Prometheus. But Martinez knew better. "No, they're regrouping. This isn't over." She was right. The Dominion commander appeared on screen one final time. "You have won today, humans, but you have made an enemy of the Dominion. We will return." "And we'll be ready," Martinez replied. "But consider this, You came to destroy the Selari because they might someday challenge you. Today, you created something far more dangerous. You united us. As the Dominion fleet withdrew, the reality of what had happened began to sink in. Humanity had not only saved the Selari, but had forged an alliance with the Meridian Collective. Earth was no longer alone in the universe. In the weeks that followed, the solar system became a hub of activity. Selari refugees settled on Mars and the moons of Jupiter, their technology helping terraform previously uninhabitable worlds. Meridian diplomats established embassies on Earth. Human engineers worked with alien scientists to reverse engineer and improve the technologies they'd encountered. The quantum bridge technology revolutionized space travel. Within months, human ships equipped with Kovic drives were exploring distant star systems. The fusion of human adaptability, Selari innovation, and Meridian wisdom created technological leaps that would have taken centuries to achieve alone. But perhaps the most significant change was philosophical. Humanity's willingness to risk everything for strangers had earned them respect throughout the galaxy. Civilizations that had watched Earth with curiosity now sought alliance and trade. At a ceremony marking the first anniversary of the rescue, Martinez stood before representatives of a dozen species. Behind her, a monument had been erected, a twisted piece of metal from a destroyed human ship, fused with crystal from a Selari vessel, set in stone from the Meridian homeworld. A year ago, we answered a call for help. She addressed the gathering. We didn't know if it was a trap. We didn't know if we could succeed. We only knew that someone needed us. Sentinel Kairos stepped forward, his form now healthy and radiant. The Selari will never forget. Humans taught us that compassion is not weakness, but the greatest strength. The Meridian ambassador added, "In all our millennia, we have never seen a species risk so much for strangers. Humanity has shown the galaxy a new way forward." As the ceremony concluded, a young human girl approached Martinez. "Commander, my teacher says we proved that humans are special. Is that true?" Martinez knelt to the child's level. "We proved that doing the right thing matters, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. That's what makes us human." Above them, the stars shone with new meaning. Each point of light now represented possibility rather than distance. The galaxy had discovered humanity, and humanity had discovered its purpose, to be the helping hand in the darkness, the voice that answers when others call for aid. The Dominion would return, as promised. Other challenges would arise, but Earth no longer faced them alone. In saving the Selari, humanity had saved itself from isolation. The price of compassion had been high, but the reward was beyond measure. A place among the stars, earned through courage, determination, and the simple human inability to ignore a cry for help. As Martinez looked up at the night sky, she smiled. Somewhere out there, other civilizations were learning what the Selari now knew. When all hope seems lost, humans will come. Not because it's easy or safe, but because it's right. The universe would never be the same.